Okay, so we're going to start with straight lines, and I am going to use a brush like this one. I'll put it right here, there. Just a basic little round brush. And to do straight lines right out of the gates is challenging because if you've had coffee, you might be shaky. It's just making just a straight line. It sounds simple, but it's not so simple. But that's what we're starting with. You can do any color combination that you please, but you're just going to make some straight lines. And I tend to use this part of my wrist to keep my hands steady. And your challenge here is to see if you can do a continuous line without running out of watercolor, or if you can keep it straight without going crooked and sometimes I even go in between later to challenge myself to see if I can get straight lines within straight lines within straight lines. It can help to take a breath because you get all like, oh, I gotta make a straight line. Oh. So just like take a breath, make a straight line, do a series of them. We're just in our warm-up phase. The next one is wavy lines, and I still use this part of my wrist, this part of my hand, to brace against the page. And I grip my brush a little bit like I would a pencil, and then move it and make waves all at the same time. So you're using your brain in all these ways all at once. You have to make sure there's enough paint on the brush. You have to make sure that you're consistent and steady, but you're moving it and you're making a wave. So it's a good exercise for the brain to try to do all these things all at once. Wavy lines. It's fun to do one continuous wavy line. You dip your brush in the water and you can watch as the paint gets lighter and lighter as you go. If you want to inject a little color back in the beginning to create more of an effect, you can even go over it. Another thing that's fun, and some of you won't like this, and some of you might, is to just go right over the top of the waves that you did with more waves. So it's creating a little bit of chaos. If you do this while the paint is still wet, you might get some fun playfulness with the colors as they blend. Okay, moving into spirals. Spirals, you're just going to channel your cursive writer within, your inner cursive writer. We all had to do this at once. We all used to have to practice. Will, did you guys have to practice cursive? Yeah. So to start, you could just do like a series of what would have been E's. Just, this is the warm-up, getting our hand used to painting. Spirals, one continuous spiral. Then as you do more and more, you can vary the shape of your loops. You could have little loops, big loops. I'm going to overlap. Mine's going to be messy. Could try an experiment going backwards. Jagged lines. Let's see, what color do I want to do? Jagged lines could sort of represent like one continuous mountain range or some kind of graph. You could try echoing. You could do one line of them and then try the next line, try to echo it exactly. You can. Or you could reflect it. Plaid is just how it sounds. It's just a series of lines. You can make up a color scheme. Series of lines, and then intersections of those lines. Now double loaded, you're going to need to switch brushes for that one. You need a thicker brush. Something like this is about, this one here is the thinnest you could probably get away with. You have to separate the bristles and dip 1/2 the bristles in one color and the other half of the bristles in another color, and then that's called double loaded. On the projector you can't see it as well. On my page you can see it a little better. There you have the first page.